Hey Glam Dolls! Welcome back to my channel. It's Taylor here. If you're new, welcome. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So for today's video, as you guys can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about the elephant in the room, honey. Okay, I know a lot of you are dealing with this as of today and you guys struggle with this, okay? So today I am going to be sharing with you guys some of my gems that have helped me get through celibacy and some ways that can help you fully understand the meaning and help you fully grasp why you're doing it and help you kill it, okay? Listen, celibacy, purity, all of that, I promote it wholeheartedly. I truly believe in it and I truly believe in waiting, although I did not wait for marriage from the start. Yeah, so today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my tips and tricks that have helped me thus far, and I hope they can help you as well. So if you guys are excited to see this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about, when you are starting your celibacy journey, you want to make sure you understand why you're doing it. So what is your reason for going celibate? This is super duper important because this will shape your whole journey. This will be the determining factor of if you can hold on to it or not. If you guys watched my testimony video and my celibacy video, I talk about how the whole reason for me going celibate was because of my testimony, everything that I've been through. If you guys have not seen that video, please go ahead and click right up there. But for me, it was like a traumatic thing that made me go celibate. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something traumatic to make you want to go celibate, but you can just simply be wanting to honor God and give that to him. And that was what happened with me. Like, I fully wanted to truly honor God and his wishes and what he desired for his children or his women to be like. So for some women, they feel like, oh, I'm going to wait off until I find the man that I like. But for me, it's a matter of like holding off for God. So it's like when you do it, waiting off until you find the man that you like, even when you find the man that you like, he ends up being a dog. And you know what I'm saying? And you done gave him your cookie or gave him your treasure, and now you're feeling pissed or disappointed because you had him wait all that time, and then all he did was really wait around until you let him in. And now that he got what he wanted, you know what I'm saying, he's dogging you, and so now you're regretting ever even allowing him to have that part of you. So for me, I fully vow to completely give that to God, strictly to honor God, because it's what he desires for us to do. He desires for us to hold off and be pure until we are married, because he feels like that type of thing is to be placed in a container of marriage. Like, marriage is where you can be undefiled and, you know, have your way, do what you want, but it's until you are married. And so at first I really didn't understand it, but you know, after experiencing some things and really deciding to commit to God, I felt like if I'm going to go, I'm going to go all the way. So that's why I made the decision to be celibate, because I truly just wanted to honor God. And it's like when I do the things with the intentions with God in mind, I don't fail. Like, I stay with it because I don't want to upset God. I don't want to hurt God. I don't want to disrespect God or, like, you know, just give him like a slap in the face. But it's like if I do things with worldly intentions or with my own intentions, I don't really care. Like, I just do what I want. Like, you know how we say 1,000 times, like, oh yeah, I'm finna go on that diet. I'm gonna go on that diet tomorrow. Oh no, I'm gonna start next week. Okay, I'm gonna start the next week after that. You know what I'm saying? But when I do certain things with God in mind, like when I fast, I stick with it. Like, I'm fasting, like I'm not playing. No, I can't eat that. I can't eat that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm focused because I know it's for God. Like, I know I'm doing it for God. So it's a difference. So it's important for you to figure out, why are you choosing to be celibate? And you should want to make sure that your mind is solely focused on God. So when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about the people who are solely doing it for focusing on God. And if you're not doing it for focusing on God, I hope that I can convince you to, because truly it's like a true reward when you are with the person that God has intended for you to be with, and not even waiting until you're engaged. You're waiting until you are married. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. Waiting until I am married. Like, sign them papers. We in the same house. We're married. That's when I can let go and do what I want. But until then, I'm waiting because I no longer desire to give myself to somebody who is undeserving and somebody who is not my husband. I feel like, why am I going to keep going around here sharing a piece of me with every single person that I meet? You get what I'm saying? Or every single person that I think could have the possibilities of, you know, being the person I'm supposed to be with, and then coming to find out that it was pointless. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I gave you a part of me, and now you got a piece of me, and you weren't even deserving of that. So no, as of today, I stand firm in my ground, and like, Like, when I committed to being celibate, I meant what I said, and I'm still holding tight to that, and I'm not letting up because I'm doing it for God. I want to show God, Lord, I give you this piece of me. Like, I'm willing to sacrifice something for you, to show you how much I love you, to show you how committed I am to you. Yeah, I encourage you to rethink your reasons as far as to why you're choosing to want to be celibate. Like, what's your true reason for going celibate? Are you doing it because you think simply you're gonna find a husband? Being celibate is not gonna bring you a husband any faster than it will not being celibate. Like, it's the same thing, but it's just a matter of saving yourself for the one you're supposed to be with. Like, think about that. Like, do I really want to be around here just throwing myself around, like just giving myself to this person and that person? Like, you gotta think about that. And also too, like, if you're being celibate, God would bring you someone who is practicing celibacy too. So it's like you guys are both practicing celibacy. Like, you guys are both saving yourself for each other. So wherever my husband is, I declare in the name of Jesus, he is saving himself for marriage. I'm not playing. It's something so attractive about a guy who's willing to wait and who is honoring God with that as well, because that means he has self-control. So I think that's a great thing too, ladies. If you're thinking about it, really pay attention to those factors as far as why celibacy could possibly be a good thing and what is your true core reason for doing it. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys the ways that have helped me with remaining celibate. So when I think about it, I've been celibate for what? How long it's been? I've been celibate for about like 2.5 years now going on, I believe. Don't quote me. Okay. Ooh, I've almost been celibate for 3 years. It will be 3 years in October. Whoa, that is crazy. Whoa! Sorry, I'm having a moment. So yeah, I've been celibate for going on like 2.5 years, almost 3. And I don't brag on it, okay? I'm not like, oh yes, I've been celibate. Like, I'm not bragging on it. It just is what it is, okay? And I'm gonna tell y'all why later on. But yeah, so I feel like I've been doing my thing. Like, I've been in the game, and so I can give you guys a little tips to help you guys, for those who are just starting or who are struggling to get through. Sis, you gonna make it through, okay? So let's start. So starting with number 1. The first thing that I can recommend to you is praying. It's super duper important that you have your focus on right. Like, you got your focus head on straight, okay? You want to make sure you're focused when fully committing to this, because it's not a joke, it's not a game. It's like you're making a promise to God that you're going to commit and you're going to save yourself until marriage. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I feel like I've made a commitment with God. So one thing I encourage you to do is pray about it. Like, always be in prayer about your purity. Like, it's important, because like that's how you will fight the battle. Because just because you're pure doesn't mean temptation isn't going to come to you. So you want to make sure you're staying in prayer. You're asking God for the strength to get through. You're asking God to give you the spirit of releasing those temptations from you. Because for me, I used to have the urges, right? But once I fully committed to God, and after my testimony, and once I fully committed to God, those urges left me. Like, these days, I do not get those urges. Like, I don't have the urges anymore. And, you know, even if I do, like, or even if my mind even attempts to think of anything like that, like, I just immediately pray. Like, I ask God to help me. Like, I immediately, like, it's important for you guys to be on it. Like, don't be trying to linger in it. You get what I'm saying? Be on your prayer game, sis, because it's super duper important. That's the only way you're going to get through this, is with prayer and with the strength of God. So I encourage you guys to pray for God to remove those feelings and emotions from you, because those things tend to tempt us. And it's important for you to keep your head on straight. Like, ask God, Lord, give me the strength to get through this. Please remove these desires from me. Allow me to just be focused on you, and he will do that. Like, over time, you will realize your head isn't even focused on those things anymore. Like, you're just focused on God and following his path for you. So I encourage you to strengthen your prayer life, because it's super duper important. Okay, so the next thing that I encourage you guys to do is keep busy. This is super duper important when you are celibate, because if you're just sitting around, like, not doing nothing, your mind, if you're not strong in your prayer life, like I just said, your mind can tend to just go wherever it desires to go. You get what I'm saying? So if you keep busy, you're not focused on men, or you're not focused on the things of this world. You're not focused on that sex factor. You're not focused on those things. You're focused on fulfilling your purpose. You're focused on praying. You're focused on following God. You're focused on watching a sermon, reading a scripture, you know what I'm saying, talking to your friends, going out to eat, going to dinner, doing things that keep you busy, because you need to stay busy in this time. Because the moment that you have quiet time to yourself, that's when the enemy likes to creep in and get into your head and give you those thoughts and desires. So you want to make sure that you keep busy, so you're not focused on those things, your mind isn't wandering or lingering all day, and you can just be focused on God. and focus on your life and focus on building yourself. Like in this time, all of that energy you used to put into that, you want to put it into your business. You want to put it into your elevation. Put it into your focus, because sis, commit all that time to you. You get what I'm saying? Because all that time eventually is going to go to your husband. So you want to be focused on yourself in this time and really tapping into what God wants to do to you, do through you through this time. Okay, so the next thing for you guys who are struggling with celibacy, I would say don't count down your days. This is so important, because when you're solely focused on how many days it's been since you've been celibate, how many more days it's gonna take until you find your husband, Lord, when is he gonna come? It's been a year, it's been a month, it's been 30 days, it's going on 140 days since I've been celibate. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Because now you're just like, I feel like when people do that, you make a mockery of the celibacy journey, and you're kind of just like, it's like, okay, like if you're so focused on the days, like just, you know what I'm saying, like just tap out. Like, why are you so focused on how many days it's been? Like, let it go. Don't focus on the days. Like I said, keep busy and just do your thing, and when the time comes, it will come. Like, it's gonna come when you least expect it. Like your husband, the person you're supposed to be with, it's gonna come when you least expect it. Like, God is gonna send it to you when he knows you're ready. Like, when you're solely focused on the days and all that, you're not allowing yourself to be focused on what God is trying to teach you in this time. So if he sees that you're solely focused on how many days it's been since you've been celibate, he's not gonna bring you the guy that you want yet, because you're so focused on that. Like, you're not focused on him. It's like, okay, so what was the whole reason that you were committing to me? Like, what was the whole reason that you decided to go celibate? Is it because you just want to find a husband, or is it because you're fully trying to commit to me? When you're fully trying to, like I said, when you're fully trying to do it to commit to God, your mind isn't focused on the days. Like, you just let it go completely. Like, God, I let it go. I give it to you. I'm not focused on it. When it happens, but God, I'm focusing on you on this time. But when you do it finding a husband, man, when my husband gonna come? What's going on? I don't know how much longer I could do this. I don't even know if I could do this. You gotta make sure your head is on straight and that you're focused on God. Do not count down your days. That's how I didn't even know that I've been celibate for oh, that sounds crazy to say, gosh, but that's how I didn't even know I was celibate for that long of a time, because I'm not focused on the days. Like, when I said I gave it to God, I gave it to God, and that was it. I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with it. That's it. The next thing I encourage you guys to do is flee from temptation, okay? This celibacy journey, this celibacy walk is not a joke. If you allow yourself to even entertain the slightest bit of sexual promiscuity or sexual encounters or whatever you want to call it, you gonna fall. You get what I'm saying? You gonna fall for the cake, because we're not strong enough to even fiddle. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're allowing yourself to even get to the edge of the teeter and like, you know, teeter-totter a little bit, you already been caught. You get what I'm saying? Like, flee from temptation. And you know what helps you with this? The things that you watch, the things that you listen to, the people you're around, the people that you follow on Instagram, like all those things play a factor. So if you know you follow people who tempt you, or who are constantly talking about sex, or who are constantly talking about things that get your mind going in that way, you want to unfollow them. You want to mute them. Because right now in this season, you're focused on God. Like, you're focused on what he's trying to do through you, through celibacy, and you're focused on committing fully to God in this way. So you want to make sure that you let those things go. For me, if I catch a little something on my timeline, I might just let it go. Like, oh my gosh, like, why are you even posting it? I'll tap through. But if they constantly keep posting stuff like that bothers me, or that even tries to tempt my mind to think that way, I mute them. I unfollow them, because why is you posting this? Stop it. And you know what? I'm not gonna follow you. Period, point blank. You need to let them people go. Don't follow people who tempt your mind like that, because we're not equipped enough. And also, like, even if we let our minds think that way, it's already been done. It's a scripture that says something about, like, even if you just allowed your mind to think about it, it's already been done. So if you claim you're not doing these sexual things, or like, I'm not gonna be sexual, or I'm gonna be pure, you gotta make sure your thoughts are pure as well. Because if you're thinking dirty thoughts, it's just as well as the same as if you did it. It's important for you to really guard your heart, guard your mind, guard your way of thinking, guard your way of being, like who you surround yourself with. If your friends are constantly talking about sex, or constantly talking about what they did with so-and-so the other night, hey sis, I love you, but if you could not talk about that around me, or you gotta find somebody else to talk about this with. If you are not fully strong in your purity as of yet, to where you can hear stuff, I don't even really talk about it with my friends, honestly. I really don't. Now that I think about it, I don't, because I don't even want to let my mind even get to thinking that way. Like, I just prefer to just not even talk about it. Like, if I know I can't encounter it, why am I going to sit up here and talk about it with you and hear about your experiences and what you're doing? Because now that's going to make my mind wrong. You get what I'm saying? You got to make sure you're, like, focused on that. And, like, the ounce of anything that you see, you want to flee from it. Like, the ounce of any sexual picture or anything that you see, flee from it. Like, if you see a advertisement or something pop up on your phone, flee from it. Like, leave it. Like, right then and there, it says in the Bible, flee. Flee is run. Flee ain't just, oh, what is this? Wait, let me look at it. No, flee is run. Flee is leave it alone. So you gotta really make those deciding factors of, like, what are you going to allow yourself to soak in? Like, if you're really committing to it, you need to commit to it. Stop allowing yourself to just be around these things. Like, if you know it's going to affect you in that way, flee from it. Let it go. You can't dibble dabble in it. You gotta let it go. Okay? Another thing with that is, like, if you're talking to somebody and he's not celibate, I highly encourage you to let that conversation go. Let that talking stage go. Let that person go. Because they don't understand the journey you're on. They don't understand. Like, if they're not celibate, they're going to try to tempt you in some type of way, or they're going to get mad because you're not pleasing them in that way. Like, you got to let that person go. Like, they're going to attempt to tempt you. So if you know he's not celibate, don't be going over their house. Don't be laying in their bed with him, you know, after hours, watching movies, cuddling. If you know that stuff tempts you, I highly encourage you not to do it. Like, kissing, if you know that tempts you, I highly encourage you not to do it. Like, you gotta stand firm in your beliefs, because these people around you not gonna help you. Like, guys only be having one thing in their head, and if you tell them they celibate, they might be like, oh yeah, I could try. But at the end of the day, they got what they got in their head. Like, they not celibate, they not trying to commit to that. So why in the world they gonna care how you feel? You get what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be focused, and if you know you're with people who aren't celibate or who don't care about your journey, you gotta let them go. Like, you gotta surround yourself with people who have the same like-mindedness as you. So, like, try to find people who are celibate too, or try to watch things like this that promote celibacy, talk about celibacy, that can keep your head focused, because you don't want to fall short. And in a world like today, it's so easy to, because everything that surrounds us is just sexual, it's just promiscuous, it's just a lot to intake, and it's really, really hard. But you gotta stand your ground. If this is something you truly want to do, you gotta be in it to win it. Also, if you know when you drink, you kind of get those feelings and emotions, or you want to do certain things, don't drink. If you know that you go out with your girls, you have a good time, but if you know if you take that drink, that's going to tempt you, I highly encourage you not to do it. Like, or don't drink as much. For me, especially my first time ever going celibate, I slipped up because I was drinking, and it's like, drinking clouds our thoughts. And when I drink, I don't care about, you know, what sober Taylor would prefer, what sober Taylor has in mind, what sober Taylor thinks. So all that soberness and all that like groundedness of, like, you know, don't do this, don't do that, that goes out of the window when you're drunk. That goes out of the window when you're having fun. Like, you just be like, man, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I want to do, YOLO, live once, like, da 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 da. But no, sis, like, if you're fully committing to this, you gotta commit. And I feel like that's why I stopped drinking too, because that clouded my way of thinking. It clouded my way of being, because when I do those things, I want to do those things. So I don't drink, and it has helped a lot with staying focused in my purity. So, you know, I say take a break, like maybe a little bit of wine here and there, but the hard liquor and the craziness of it all, I say chill, because it does impact us. Those are just a couple of my points about what has helped me in my celibacy journey. And you know, celibacy is not a punishment. Don't ever feel like you being celibate is a bad thing. You being celibate, you're doing what's right. Like, don't let this world make you think that you're doing something wrong. Like, oh, she's celibate, oh, she wait until she get her husband. Don't let nobody psych you out of what you're doing for God, because that's the enemy trying to make you feel bad or feel blame for what you desire to do for God. That's always how it is. People always pick at you or make fun of you and poke at you because you're choosing to be celibate. Don't let those people get you down because you want to know something. 9 times out of 10, those people are in relationships that they're not happy with. People just giving it up and still hurt, still broken hearted. Ultimately, doing this, you're going to get the ultimate reward out of it. Like, you're going to get your husband, the person who's truly for you, and you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want with him. Like, it's undefiled, okay? So you can hold off like a couple years or however long God wants you to wait. It's worth it for the one you're truly supposed to be with. So while all those people laughing at you and talking about you wanting to be celibate, you laugh back. Because sis, when I'm with my husband and I'm happy, let's see who really got the last laugh. Let's see who really got the last laugh. Point blank, period. So don't feel bad. Be excited about your celibacy. Be excited about your walk with God. Be excited about committing to your purpose. Be excited about committing to your purity. It's an amazing thing, and you're doing it for the right reasons. Okay, so that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel and you stayed all the way to the end, please do not forget to subscribe. I would love for you guys to stay and become a glam doll today. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any tips or tricks of anything about celibacy or any questions, please go ahead and comment them down in the comment section below. Yeah, so that's all. I love you guys, and I'll be sure to see you guys all in my next video. Bye!